key world issues. I would now request all the delegations to stand up for the UN song.
Can choose to believe in unity and peace. It's for everyone. Everyone. Oh, everyone can lend a helping hand. Love is fellow men. It's for everyone. Fathers and mothers, sisters and brothers, have a special dream. Let's change guns into guitars for you and me. Unite here, unite there. Oh, 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 oh. Unite here, unite there, united nation.
Please settle down. The agenda for today's conference will be the digital divide between developed and developing countries. Today, we hope to recreate the ideals of diplomacy, understand the gravity of the issues, and evaluate the consequences of the solutions proposed. And thus, through this MUN experience, we hope to fulfill the aims and goals set out by the founders of the United Nations in the preamble, to practice tolerance and live together in peace with one another as good neighbors. A committee that needs no introduction, the General Assembly occupies a central position as the chief deliberative policy-making and representative organ. The Assembly is empowered to make recommendations to states on international issues within its competence. We would now like to welcome our esteemed judges. The judges for the day are, our first judge is Mr. Pranab Kishore Saxena. He's a second-year history honours student at Jamia Millia Islamia and is the founder and secretary general of Grinico MUN. He has chaired various committees and trained students in cities like Delhi, Panipat, Sonipat, Agra, Jaipur and Ajmer. He has also attended MUN conferences at various DU colleges. His expertise lies in geopolitical analysis and understanding international legal mandate and documents, especially the UN Charter. Our second judge is Ms. Mridula Nambia. She's currently pursuing graduation in Sociology Honours final year from Jesus and Mary College. She's also participated and represented Jesus and Mary College in annual M.N. Srinivas Sociology debate held at Hindu College. She has participated in declamation competition at Sociology Departmental Fest held at Jesus and Mary College. She was also the Vice President of Sociology Department at Jesus and Mary College in the year 2015 and 16. We are very glad to have you with us today. So without any further ado, let us begin with the MUN conference. I now hand over the mic to the President of the Executive Council. Let us all have a fruitful, engaging discussion ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so good morning everyone, all the delegates. So, are you aware of the agenda? You know your portfolios? Yes? Okay. How many delegates do we have here? 16? How many am I? I'm just one. So who should be scared? Yes, I should be scared of you. You all are decision makers, you are the representatives of your countries. So there is no point of you being scared. Relax, this is just an MUN, nothing else. So, can we start with the formal session? Alright, so delegates, are there any points on the floor? Do you know the agenda? Done with the agenda? Alright, so we're looking for the establishment of the GSL. Can we have a motion for the GSL? Delegate of Russia.
The delegation of Russia would like to propose a journal speaking list.
On the agenda.
On the agenda, digital divide between developing and developed countries.
And you also mentioned each speaker's time. First mention that the delegate of Russia would like to establish the GSL on the topic and each speaker's time. Go on.
The delegation of Russia proposes a GSL on the topic digital divide between developing and developed nations, with the time being for each speaker being 90 seconds.
In order, delegate. Thank you so much. So, delegates wishing to add their names to the GSL, kindly raise your placards. Delegates who wish to add their names, and there's a flag on the placard. It's fine. Raise your placards properly, delegates. Alright. Russia, Oman, Japan, Brazil, India, USA, Germany, Zambia. Alright, so delegates, you all have 90 seconds for your GSL. Can you please proceed forward? Not? Alright, thanks. The first delegate is Delegate of Russia. So you've got 90 seconds on the floor.
She was born to a poor family in a rural area with no access to the outer world. She was disabled and had plenty of problems in getting education. Digitization came to her rescue, and now she is changed. She is a service provider and supports her family financially. She is Baudi Siribam, a flag bearer in eliminating digital divide. A very good morning to Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. The delegation of Russia believes that digital divide is an extreme predicament as it poses an alarming threat to the modern world, as not only it leads to an intermittent world economy, but also to a youth that is unequipped with the wisdom and knowledge to lead a prosperous life. To bridge this gap, Russia has launched communication satellites to connect smaller regions. Government has developed softwares to increase the industry output. The telecommunication industry has also grown from $39 billion to $42 billion US. Closing the digital divide is important for Russia in order to witness gender equality, social mobility, economic growth, and most importantly, a healthy democracy. Russia supports the movement to rule out digital divide and make its people digital citizens. But for that, let's not pin a hope for a miracle to happen. Thank you.
Time out. The moment you collapse with 90 seconds, you are done. I'm not going to mark you after that. Alright? So delegates, make sure you do not collapse with your time. Keep time with you for questions as well. Alright? Thank you so much. Next speaker is the delegate of Oman, and delegates, please make sure you leave some time for points of information as well, because that is the real time where you debate. Speech and question answer round, the points of information, that's the actual point where you debate. So make sure you have some time there. Yes, delegate.
One of the ultimate goals of Smart Nation is to reduce cost for all the stakeholders and increase the efficiency in delivery of services, utilizing and leveraging the information output to effectively enhance not only the services but build on value-added services. Known as the Pearl of Arabia for its stunning landscape and rich cultural heritage, the Sultanate of Oman is currently undergoing a transition to a knowledge-based economy as outlined in its Economic Vision 2020. Information and communication technologies are at the core of this transformation, serving as the key enabler of economic diversification. The country is working on having an ultra-fast broadband connectivity, and the government has recently established a company dedicated to building the necessary infrastructure for the same. This will expand the coverage of the broadband through fiber optics and wireless technology. The Digital Oman Strategy e-Oman is of 6 main pillars as follows: society and human capital development, enhancement of e-government and e-services, information and communication technology industry development, governance standards and regulations, national infrastructure development and promotion and awareness. We would like to conclude by adding that Oman strongly believes that the investment in mobility skills and services now is crucial for a smart nation of tomorrow. Mobility is not an emerging trend anymore, it is the way of future communication. Thank you.
Alright, delegates, so since you are using all your time, please do not use all your time because we need points of information as well. Alright, so this time we will take points of information. Are there any points of information for the delegate of Oman? Points of information, questions. Delegate of Russia? 1 minute, sir. Are there any other points of information? Points of information, no? Alright, delegate of Russia.
The delegation of Russia would like to ask a question to the delegation of Oman. Can Oman explain how it plans to initiate e-governance in its country? Their country?
Thank you for your question. Enhancement of e-governance and e-services, which will result in transforming the way government operates to process enhancement and automation and providing e-services to the community.
While Japan mentioned its strides and its importance and its significance that it has imposed in the subcontinent region of India, while it hasn't done anything for the African least developed countries in Africa. What is your position on that?
See, Japan is one of the biggest donators in economic terms. Right? In Africa, we have ODA system. We donate money, we financially assist. So, the delegation of Japan has already mentioned that it aims to devote 10% of that economic fund in order to bridge the digital divide, which includes the African region as well. Sure.
Thank you, sir. So you mentioned about some system. Can you repeat that system?
It's an ODA system.
ODA system. Please elaborate that.
It is basically a method to financially assist countries.
Sir, can you expand ODA?
Yes, sir. I need to check out my papers for that. I need some time.
So you don't know the full form of ODA and you want to finance other countries. Thank you so much, sir. Please, I want a chit regarding what ODA system is and how is it going to finance countries like Zambia. Thank you so much. Are there any other points of information? We recognize one more speaker, right? Question? Other questions? Russia, sir.
The delegation of Russia would like to ask a question to the delegation of Japan. Japan has over 39 zero broadband access prefectures in the entire country. How does it plan to bridge
Russia, sir. Slowly, clearly. Do not run. Relax.
Japan has over 39 prefectures in the entire country with zero broadband access. Is Japan biased towards the urban areas in providing internet access over rural regions? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, delegation. In Japan, almost 90% of its population has mobile phones, and every 9 out of 10 mobile phones are smartphones. So there is no doubt that Japan focuses on each and every socio-economic group in its country.
Sorry, sir?
Right to follow, lead to follow.
So that's a plead to follow. That's a right to reply.
Okay.
So when you want to ask another question, that's a plead to follow. Alright? Yeah.
Lead to follow.
Granted, sir.
In this age of modern communication technology and in this age of laptops and computers, does the delegation of Japan think that people can access the complete features of a computer on a 5-inch mobile screen? Thank you.
See, you cannot jump to things if you do not have basic information. How can we expect someone to be able to have knowledge about using laptops and internets when the person doesn't know how to use mobile phones? And according to the statistics, mobile phone has played a very important role in bridging digital divide. So nothing has to be taken lightly.
Alright, thank you so much, sir. And one more thing, no you, no I, no he, no mine. It's the delegate of Russia, it's the delegate of Japan. Alright? No personal pronouns. Okay, thank you. Are there any points of information for the delegate of Russia? Points of information, questions?
Sir, did you say delegate of Russia?
Sorry, Japan, my bad. Japan. Are there any points of information? See. Delegate of Brazil.
The delegation of Brazil wishes the EB and the other delegations a very good morning. We hope to work with all of you who are driven by order and progress, to bridge the gap between the Brazilians who have access to the digital world and the ones who don't. Brazil hopes to sensitize the use of internet and propagate the advantages of the same. According to the Brazilian government, the internet is much more accessible now, and 51.6% of the country's population is using it currently. We have various policies that help with the sensitization and propagation process. But the problem here is that more than 70% of the population lacks skills to access the internet services, which creates a massive digital divide among the people. Brazil requests funds from the World Bank to develop and induce the modern techniques and services to promote and propagate digitization to reduce the digital gap. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Are there any points of information? Points of information? Any question for the delegate of Brazil? No questions? Delegate of Zambia?
The delegate of Zambia wants to ask the delegate of Brazil a question. The delegate of Zambia wants to ask, what is Brazil's position on the Brazilian Internet Steering Act implemented in 1995? I'll repeat the question.
Repeat the question.
The delegate of Zambia wants to ask the position of Zambia now, currently, on the Brazilian Internet Steering Committee that had been established in 1995.
So can you please repeat the question again clearly? Like I really did not understand your question.
The delegate of Zambia wants to understand the position that now Brazil holds in accordance with the Brazilian Internet Steering Committee that was established in 1995.
Where?
In Brazil, the Brazilian Internet Steering.
Delegation of Brazil would like to get back the delegation of Zambia the other check. Will it be possible on the
Fine, ma'am. Fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, and one more thing. The delegate of Brazil, ma'am, I got this question and this is a speech. The question should be very precise. I cannot read this. Delegate of India, this is another speech. So I am not going to read this question because this is a speech. I want a small, crisp question.
But EB, the question needs a follow-up, needs a prelude to it. Otherwise, the question would make no relevance whatsoever.
Great, ma'am, do you understand there are 16 delegates here and I have to read each and every chit? Now this is a General Assembly. Usually General Assembly has got 193 delegates as a mandate. And I think when you add the non-permanent observer states, it's like 222.
Alright, sir.
So-
We'll keep that in mind from now onwards.
Completely fine, ma'am. I know you have a question, but make sure it's crisp. Thank you so much. Thanks, ma'am. Any other points of information for Delegate of Brazil? Delegate of India?
Thank you, sir. Brazil, considering the fact that you are one of the fastest growing economies of South America and almost on the verge of being a developed country yourself, why do you still need a fund for bridging the digital divide in your country? It's almost not there, non-existent.
The delegation of Brazil would like to thank the delegation of India for the question. Brazil is financially weak because of its depleting resources and lack of proper career opportunities, which leads to a low per capita GDP and even lower HDI. So after dealing with the medical and the poverty crisis, the government is either left with inadequate or no funds to induce technical reforms to sensitize and propagate the advantages of the digital divide, of the digital world, sorry. The developed countries, on the other hand, divert an enormous amount of their GDP and income towards providing digital access and related services to the people, which creates a digital divide between the developed and the developing countries.
Sir, do we have the need to follow up with another question?
Granted.
Brazil, considering the fact that we are sitting amidst one of the poorest countries, say for instance Zambia, don't you think that funds should instead be channelized towards the lower developing countries instead of the already developed countries? I mean, consider the fact that we're sitting amidst Zambia and countries like Oman and India, which are still developing, which still has a huge proportion of their populations below the poverty line.
Brazil is not developed, it is developing. That's the first point. The second point...
on the verge of... Do I have the right to answer to this point? Sir, on the verge of developing, of being a developer.
One minute, no conversation here. You asked a question?
Yeah.
Did ma'am answer a question? Ma'am?
Delegation of Brazil is answering the question. Are we permitted to? The delegation of Brazil is permitted to?
She asked you a question, you're answering a question? Great, thank you so much. Do not interrupt the speaker, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Brazil is a developing country, it is not developed. That's the first point which I would like, which the delegation of Brazil would like to put forward. The second point is that Brazil is suffering from, Brazil actually is dealing with a lot of medical crisis and poverty crisis because of the diseases like Zika spreading in Brazil. Then we have a lot of other problems like the Brazilian delegate has also already mentioned. We have problems with the people finding themselves digitally inefficient to access the services, which creates a hurdle in providing digital, in bridging the digital divide.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Delegate of India, are you open for a question from the executive board? You questioned Brazil on its economy, that Brazil is actually a developing country, and how is it possible that there is digital divide in the country? Why do you cry about your economic problems in the BRICS summit? You discuss this with Brazil, right?
Sir, it must be considered that the rise of digital divide is much vast in countries such as India, or say Zambia, or other lower developing countries as compared to say countries such as Brazil. There the question is much of affordability. Here it starts from the basic of relevance instead. People here in India question us on if say for instance the government wants to digitize the economy, which it wanted to recently. People go on to question the basic relevance of the point. They say that in a country where there is no food, there is no shelter, why would we need a mobile?
And they will negotiate with each other. They will decide what possible solutions they can propose. So this is the informal session right now going on. Please write more and more chits because you're not asking questions. There is no point of delegates, delivering a speech and then nothing is being followed up. So ask questions. If you're not delivering a speech right now, ask questions. You can raise points of information or write chits. Please write chits. Chits are really important. Alright? So, can any delegate please culminate whatever happened in the unmoderated caucus?
Yes, sir. Basically,
Ma'am, I do not recognize you.
sorry.
India.
Yes, sir. So, all of us discussed that due to the paucity of time, we cannot discuss all the subtypes related to digital divide. So we settled on the idea of discussing challenges in bridging digital divide as well as the solutions which the various countries think could be implemented by the General Assembly. So those are the two topics we would be focusing on.
Could be implemented by?
But not by the General Assembly, could actually be addressed by the General Assembly in the moderated
The
caucus.
General Assembly never implements.
Yes.
The security
Apologies,
council.
yes. Thank you.
Are there any points on the floor? Motions? Brazil, Russia. I know this is not the BRICS summit, you cannot talk to each other right now. Talk to me. Delegate of Russia followed by delegate of India.
The delegation of Russia would like to propose a moderated caucus on the topic challenges faced by countries due to digital divide. The total time being 10 minutes and time allotted to each speaker would be 60 seconds. Thank you.
Not in order, sir. First, before entering into a moderated caucus, you suspend the formal debate. So GSL is a formal debate. So you have to say the delegate of Russia would like to suspend formal debate and move into a moderated caucus for time being, each speaker's time and the topic. Alright? Try again.
The delegation of Russia would like to suspend the
Formal debate
formal debate and would like to enter into a moderated caucus.
on the topic.
On the topic, the challenges faced by countries due to digital divide, with the total time being 10 minutes and time allotted to each speaker being 60 seconds. Thank you.
10 minutes, 60 seconds. So is it possible for us to have 20 minutes and 60 seconds? You can extend the time afterwards.
We have decided to have two moderated caucuses with 20 minutes divided into halves. Thank you.
10 minutes, 60 seconds.
Yes.
Great, thank you so much. Delegate of India.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, India would like to raise the same motion for a moderated caucus.
Thank you so much. Sorry, ma'am? No, ma'am, because I asked you, are there any motions on the floor? You did not raise your hand. So now you cannot have it. Thank you so much. Delegate of Germany, you got 60 seconds on the floor.
Despite all the positive effects of digitization, associated risks and threats cannot be denied. For example, the catchphrase "big data" refers to the ever-increasing volume of digital information that can be used by organizations to make predictions about people's everyday habits and behaviors in a way that was never before possible. This use of data is based on the storage and analysis of huge volumes of data and may have serious implications for freedom of action and the protection of privacy. Moreover, people are already concerned about increasing prevalence of cybercrime, for example, when shopping or banking online. Meanwhile, the sinister threat of cyber espionage is ever present, not only for our economy and citizens, but also for the state. Finally, increasingly complex and interconnected digital technologies could lead to new forms of cyber attacks that threaten the common good.
Next speaker. Zambia.
Good morning, Chair. Senegalese President Abdoulaye Wade has stated the digital gap brings with it a danger of isolating certain people, those in Africa in particular. It is paradoxical and ironic that the continent which invented writing is excluded from universal knowledge. Zambia's literacy rate stands at 55.3%, with literacy pronounced much more in females than in males. A major issue in Zambia is the worst HIV epidemics, with 1 in every 7 adults infected. The life expectancy at birth is now only 39 years. 68% of the population lives in poverty, and this number rises to 80% in rural areas. Thus, Zambia has been deprived of the modern ICTs and seeks help from monetary funding organizations in the world and the developed countries. Thank you.
Next week is USA.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. USA, like every other country, faces a number of challenges, while they might not be as vast as challenges faced by developing countries. There are certain challenges that USA faces. Gender-wise, beliefs and value systems excluded women are amongst the main reasons for the current digital gap. Moreover, 59% of USA's population is online, but 50% of them are online in May, which reduced 51% steady growth in the steady growth in digital usage, and these are some of the problems USA has been facing, these are some of the challenges USA has been facing, and the delegate would like to leave the remaining time also.
We do not yield the time to moderate focus to anyone.
Next speaker is Oman.
There are a number of challenges that it faces in the field of digital divide. They are listed as follows. Lack of competitiveness of the sector when compared to the region and the rest of the world. Lack of essential infrastructure, shortage of skilled manpower, and lack of technical awareness. Lack of ICT industry, lack of funding for appeal research, shortage of entrepreneurs, lack of knowledge of putting together a proper business case, high cost of ICT services, high digital divide, cultural and language barriers. Thank you.
As a developing country with a human developmental index of 0.79. We have our own problems when it comes to digital divide, and there are many. The linguistic barriers. Russia aims to eliminate this linguistic barrier by providing information to people with native languages. They are making the information more accessible. Canada. This is also another factor that is posing a threat to Russia. The minute difference between internet users and email users. Education and illiteracy and lack of keen interest are two factors that are interlinked. People are not ready to take up internet and not have access because they are not educated or aware of how it is important. The lack of infrastructure is also a problem that Russia faces because of in the rural region. Thank you.
Next speaker is Brazil.
Developing country faces a lot of challenges in bridging the digital divide. The challenges faced by Brazil are as follows. More than 70% of the people find themselves isolated in the opportunities of the digital world, and they find themselves inefficient to access the services. Costs might put internet availability, internet availability out of reach, as a large part of the population is unable to access the internet services. 3.7% of the population is below extreme poverty line, which makes it difficult to bridge the digital divide. Non-availability of the digital services, lack of infrastructure to develop and propagate the uses and advantages of the digital world. Lack of proper opportunities given to the people and the medical facilities is also a reason behind the same. The people do not receive proper medical facilities due to new diseases originating every day, which leads to the government's income and funds being diverted towards the providing medical and the education facilities, which makes the government.
Thank you, Chair. Currently, we have discussed all the problems of infrastructure, affordability, lack of local content and relevance, etc. But in the recent World Trade Organization, some of the developed countries have imposed new policies which have potentiality to create a rise in the digital divide. So since there is a paucity of time, I'll raise one of the, I'll tell you what, India will tell you what one of the challenges, one of the new policies the government initiated was, which was low technology transfer. Now it must be considered that many developing countries have a trade clause in that bridging the digital divide by stipulating that foreign providers make the technology use available to the host country as well. Now these countries are suggesting, which includes members of the EU, Japan, Canada and also the United States, they are suggesting that there be no technology transfer at all, which means that once they come in our country, in the host country, they do not allow the transfer of the technology they are using in their industry or the digital technologies they are using to our economy, which is inhibiting our opportunity to bridge the digital divide. Thank you.
Delegates, we have room for 3 more speakers. We have room for 3 more speakers. Alright, Zambia, India, Japan.
Mr. Zambia can speak.
The average percentage of individuals using the internet in Zambia has improved from 2.2%